All right, well, I do want to apologize that the Wi-Fi went down. So here's the lesson that we were working on, and a little bit of help on how to do that. Watch this as soon as I post it, and then this is your lesson for today. So again, it's on section 5.2, which was graphing using the X and Y intercepts. Okay, so graphing using the X and Y intercepts. We started off with this first example. I was right in the middle of trying to do it, which was, I don't know which one I had given, so let's just start with a new one here. Let's start with 2x minus 4y equals, let's go with 12. So 2x minus 4y equals 12. So we want to graph using the x and y intercepts. How do I do this? Well, I find the x-intercept by saying y equals 0. So good thing is there's not much new work here. The y-intercept I find by doing x equals 0. So I take 0, put it in as y. Okay, so that's going to give me 2x equals 12. Divide each side by 2 to get x equals 6. Now to get your y-intercept, I put 0 in for x, so I have negative 4y equals 12. Because again, 2 times 0 is 0, so that part's gone. And I just am left with negative 4y equals 12. Divide each side by negative 4, and you're going to have y equals negative 3. Okay, so your x-intercept is going to be 6, 0, x, y. And then your y-intercept is going to be 0, negative 3. That'll be your y-intercept. Okay? So we've got our x-intercept and our y-intercept. Now, you're going to want to go ahead and make a graph now. Okay, so again, do your homework that I give you on graph paper. Remember, just label 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My graph went to 6 on the x, just the last number on the x. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. Last number on the y. Okay, and then all you have to do to graph using this is you plot these 2 points. Okay, so 6, 0 is right here. Over 6, up or down 0. 0, negative 3 is right down here. Over 0 down to negative 3. And then you just connect those 2 dots and you made your line. Okay, not bad. Pretty easy to do. Okay, let's try one more of those. Okay, and then we need to do a word problem, which I'm sure is probably not super exciting to you, but we got to do it. Okay, so let's say that I have y equals 1/2 x minus 3. Y equals 1/2 x minus 3. Now, one of the things you could do with this, because I know a lot of you look at these and you're like, I don't like fractions. Okay, so you don't like fractions, box it right at the beginning. Get rid of that fraction, multiply everything by 2. Okay, we've done that trick before. So if I multiply everything by 2, I get 2y equals, well, the 2's would cancel, so that leaves me with 1x, and negative 3 times 2, negative 6. And now you don't have those fractions. That's fine. Okay, to do it that way. Now you could do it without doing that. That's up to you. But this will work just fine. Okay, so I want to find the x-intercept. I want to find the y-intercept. Okay, so your x-intercept is going to be where y equals 0. Your y-intercept is going to be where x equals 0. So I'm going to start by putting in 0 for y. Now this is 2 times 0, which is 0. I got to have something on this side. So this is one of the few times where I actually write 0 there. Because again, normally it just goes away, but you got to have something on that side. So 0 equals 1x minus 6. Okay, so we're going to add 6 to the other side. So you're going to have 6 equals 1x. That means that x equals 6, dividing each side by 1. Okay, so my x-intercept is going to be 6, 0, because x is 6, y is 0. Now for your y-intercept, that's where x is 0, so you're going to have 2y equals negative 6. Divide each side by 2 to get y equals negative 3. So this is going to be 0, negative 3 for my y-intercept. Okay, so now I'm going to plot them on the same graph here so you don't have to wait and watch me make a graph. So I'm just going to plot right here 6, 0. I've got that same point that I had before. So 6, 0 is right here. And 0, negative 3. We got the same line as the last one. Exact same line. Okay? In fact, if you were to solve this for y, it would be the same equation. Okay? Kind of did that on purpose for you just to kind of give you something a little different though. Okay? All right, now, last one. Letter C is a word problem. Okay, and I'd kind of like you to write down the word problem so you have it. Okay? So, in this word problem, a farmer has 300 acres to plant. Okay. Battery's running low, better plug it in or my computer goes dead. And lots of things are not working. All right, so a farmer has 300 acres to plant. 1 bag of corn, the corn seed, covers 15 acres. 1 bag of tomato seeds covers 30 acres. Okay, so one of the things we're going to do is we're going to make an equation for this, which is going to be kind of hard. Okay, and then we're going to try to graph it. All right, now I know these are hard for you, so really concentrate here right now. Okay, so there's 2 things we don't know. We don't know the number of bags of corn we're going to use. We don't know how many we're going to do. That's going to be our x. And because there's 2 things I don't know, I need a y also. Number of bags of tomatoes. That's going to be our y. Okay, now watch. Here's going to be our equation. It's 15 acres per bag of corn. So 15x. Plus our 30 acres per bag of tomatoes. So plus our 30y. Should equal the total amount of acres that we're going to plant. 300. Again, this is kind of the hard part of the lesson, doing these word problems. Okay, so they're going to ask you to find your x and y intercepts and then also interpret those. Okay, well the work is the same as what we've been doing. X-intercept, y-intercept. The x-intercept is where y equals 0. The y-intercept is where x equals 0. So I put 0 in for y. That gives me 15x equals 300. Divide each side by 15. And you're going to get x equals 20. Okay, that's 20, 0. Okay, now, before we do the y-intercept, let's figure out what that means. Now, remember, you said x was going to be corn. Y was going to be tomatoes. So what this represents is 20 bags of corn, 0 bags of tomatoes. That's what that's telling you. Okay, 20 is x, and that's bags of corn. 0 is y, that's bags of tomatoes. So if he plants 20 bags of corn, he's going to cover all of his 300 acres. Now, if he does the y-intercept, that's where x is 0. So 15 times 0 is 0, so you'd have 30y equals 300. Divide each side by 30 to get y equals 10. So that's 0, 10. So now, what does that mean? Well, it means that 0 bags of x, x is corn. 0 bags corn but 10 bags of tomatoes. Okay? Now, the graphing part of this. Because there is no negatives, we're going to do a one-quadrant graph. Okay? So one-quadrant graph because there's no negatives. You've been making one-quadrant graphs since second grade. Now, the X is corn, so I'm going to label the X-axis as corn. And Y is tomatoes, so I'm going to label the Y-axis as tomatoes. Now, I've got to make a graph that goes to 20 on the X and 10 on the Y. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go by 5s. And again, I'm not going to label every number. I'm going to go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. The way I set it up. And I can tell now that I went by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50 again. Okay, I didn't really do that on purpose. It just happened that way, that they were both 50. All right, so now we're going to go to 20 on the x-axis. Again, remember we went by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20. 20 on the x-axis. 10 on the y. 5, 10. And now you can make your graph. You just plot your x-intercept and your y-intercept. And now you made a graph. And what this shows is it shows like all different combinations. So like a point that's right here, that tells me another combination. Remember, by going by 5s, 5, 10, this is 10 bags of corn, comma, 5 bags of tomatoes. So any point that's on there represents what he can grow. All right, so unfortunately, again, like I said, I'm really sorry about having to do this through video. I wish we would have done it in class, but again, the Wi-Fi up here is not working properly, and my phone just doesn't have enough power, I guess, to keep Zoom going for you guys. So the homework assignment is page 179. This is in your book that you have at home. Page 179, you're doing, I believe it's 3 through 22. Let me look and make sure I got that right. Yes. 3 through 22. That's in your book that you have at home, the integrated one book that you checked out. Okay? I'm going to post this to Canvas right now for you. My phone should have enough power to do that, hopefully, and then get you guys going. All right? I will see you again on Friday. We'll definitely work on this, I promise, and hopefully get us to where we need to be on Friday. Fingers crossed that the Wi-Fi works. Okay? All right, everybody have a great day. I will see you next time.